Hello guys, welcome back. Odin kind of gave me a big shove from behind today because he wanted me to notice something. I hadn't really noticed it, but sometimes liking those Marvel films is a double-edged sword. Let's talk about Fat Thor, because nobody's talking about Fat Thor. No, I haven't seen the film Fat Thor's in, but I do know he's a joke on the internet. I do know he's pathetic on the internet because he's fat. Ha ha ha. And I wrote something about it on Patreon in Dead Silence and Crickets. And I'm like, okay, this is a problem only fat people understand. But the thing is, I'm realizing that, a lot of times with the gods, we tie their worth up to the image we have of them. Loki wouldn't be Loki to a lot of people if they didn't find him sexually appealing. If he was hideous and ugly and looked like he collected tin cans and took them down to the dump and had two teeth in his head, how many followers do you think he'd have? I'm hearing, ooh, preach it, sister. If Thor was fat, how many followers would he have? If Odin actually fucking looked like Odin in any of the artwork of him, how many followers do you think he would have? And I was just, I was idling over it because one, our gods don't really have physical bodies. They end up having the attributes they have because to our human mind, a muscled Thor signifies strength. A beautiful Loki signifies how he can enrapture people, and so forth and so on. But I thought, we kind of body shame our gods in a way because Thor can never be fat. Thor's not allowed to be fat. Thor's not allowed to come down as some fat dude and teach you about life. Odin's not allowed to come down as anything other than whatever we find aesthetically pleasing. Loki sure as hell better not be ugly or a lot of people are going to have problems with him. And I'm thinking one of the first things Loki did with me was make sure he looked as un-Loki-like as possible, which means he actually looked like Loki. And could I handle that? Could I handle a Loki wasn't pretty? Because Loki is not going to be pretty just to make you happy. And fuck you, that's why. And that's the kind of attitude Loki has, which is why I think a lot of people end up washing out with him. Because they're attracted through other avenues where he's, like, very beautiful. And then Loki has a honesty day with them. Where Loki's not beautiful. And they can't handle it. And there they go. And Odin had noticed that this was all building up. I mean, I was watching this TEDx talk that just came up, and Odin was giving me a shove because you guys know I'm always going to be a bigger person. And when you're a bigger person, people feel free to mock you in public. I used to exercise, like I said, 2 to 4 hours a day, every day. And do you know what that was like when you're a bigger person? People feel free to shout insults out of cars at you. People eating Dairy Queen, eating fast food, feel free to say things like, I don't know why she works out because it never makes a difference. People felt free to make fun of me and laugh at me while I'm out there working my fucking ass off, eating calories so low that I'm blacking out, and people felt free to make fun of me. And little by little, over time, I finally got pretty damn close to what the doctor was happy with a goal weight. But I was fucking miserable. My hair was falling out. My vision was going funny. I was blacking out every time I stood up. But everybody was happy because I'd finally reached my societal obligation. And I was finally thin enough. And I eventually told the doctor, I said, I know I'm going to piss you off, but I'm going to start eating food again. And she said, what do you mean? And I said, I don't know how many years I've been telling you, but, by then it'd been like a year, almost 2 years to, try to take off his weight. I said, all I'm doing is drinking huge amounts of liquid every day. I'm hardly eating food. To lose the weight, I hardly ate food, and I exercised several hours a day. I said, doesn't that strike you as abnormal? I'm taking in less calories than a human body needs to function in a coma. And believe me, I looked this up. And I said, you're fine with it, and you're a doctor. And she shrugged and she said, well, you lost the weight. And that's when I decided that skinny bitch had an attitude problem. No offense to the thin people, but you know, she had no fucking idea what I was going through. And I was having all these symptoms. And you think, as a doctor, a patient blacking out and losing clumps of hair would have been a major red flag, but she didn't give a shit because she was more concerned about my weight than anything else. And Odin's been giving me a shove because ever so subtly those bad unhealthy habits have been creeping back up on me. I went from we're going to have to eat ramen for like a couple months and just grin and bear it and scrounge when we can and we'll eventually get fast food even though it tastes like shit in this town. We'll eventually get it just to get the meat into my diet again. We'll eventually go back to that, but instead of seeing it as what it was in reality, this is just a tough time I'm going to have to power through. I started to see it as this kind of golden ticket from the universe to go on a crazy weight loss journey. But I wasn't saying it in my waking mind, I was saying it, you know, underneath. And I'd started drinking a ton of liquid again. Now it is fucking hot this summer, so I was naturally drinking a lot of iced tea. But I was not letting myself have any other kind of drinks to try to make up the calorie loss, like, you know, juice or milk or something like that. And I certainly wasn't going to touch soda. And so I started to get tired, and it's taking me 45 minutes to get out of bed. And Odin's like, this shit is over. I don't care if you have to stay up to 2 a.m. when it's cool enough and you can eat something, but you're going to fucking eat something. And he has a point. It's not like I've stopped eating entirely, but the bad habits are coming back through. A bad habit of judging myself every time I'm eating and judging myself for the fact that I'm always going to be a bigger person, unless, of course, I want to eat less than the person on a coma consumes just to stay alive, then I can lose weight. And he's like, bullshit, you're not doing it. You fucking ruined your knees. You fucking ruined your joints with all that exercise. And I did, because remember, I had been hit by a car decades ago, so I totally fucked up my body then. And all the exercise I had to do crippled me to the point where I couldn't walk. And I would tell the doctor, I literally can't walk today. And she would say, well, okay, whatever. Worst doctor in the room. So he's just kind of shoving me forward and saying, you know, your self-worth has nothing to do with the size you are, and you're falling back into these bad habits, and I see you doing it. You're starting to drink liquid instead of eating when you're hungry. That's a warning sign for me. You're starting to eat another food instead of what you want because you're worried about calorie count. He said, bull fucking shit, you're going to eat what your body's screaming at you for. Now, I can't afford to go up and like get a binge of fast food, which I would love because I'm hungry. But I can eat noodles and I can eat eggs and I can like eat an actual adult sized portion of cottage cheese. But he's like, you appear on camera. If you're too upset to appear on camera because you're bigger, then fucking quit because I'm done with you. And I looked at him. He said, you heard me. I'm fucking done with you. If that's what's bothering you, if you're going to kill yourself to be thinner on camera, fuck you. I'm done with you. Go back to Loki. Okay. Odin will tell you like it is. And it was one of the very few times he acted disgusted with me. And Loki's just in the background like, cheeseburger? And I'm like, I wish we had the money at this point, baby. But yeah, we're both like, cheeseburger? Because it's been 8 days. It's been 8 days since I had fast food. I used to go up. I wasn't bad, guys. I used to go up maybe 2-3 times a week. And that would be it. I did get into that thing back in May where I was going like crazy. But do you notice the fucking tragedy in my life? Even though I've been eating probably at least 2,000 less calories for a couple weeks now. Have I lost any weight? Fuck no. So, you know, Odin had to kind of tell me, you know, there are a lot worse things than being fat. I noticed we lost 2 people because they didn't fucking want to hear that. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck those people. I'll sit on them. We'll see how happy they are then. I'm hearing, woo! But, you know, I feel like it's timely for some of you guys, because maybe you're thin, and you can't pack on weight no matter what you eat, and people are feeding you all this stuff that is even making you sick, and you can't pack on the weight. Or maybe you're a dude and you can't pack on muscle or whatever the fuck you got going on. Tell people to fuck themselves. Basically, that's the message of this video. But it feels timely. And you guys knew from the beginning that have been with me for a while, I told you to keep it real. And right now, it's not like a particularly religious lesson from Loki or Odin. It's a lesson about, hey, get your fucking shit together. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. You're fat, big fucking deal. Get on the camera and do something. So that was today's lesson. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.